Hey, Top Gun Options traders and investors, Matt Buckley, call sign Wiz, and welcome to our Friday market wrap up. Well, we had some surprising news this morning out of GDP. I've been saying all week that GDP was going to be a very interesting report. Are we going to hang out in the anemic ones, or is this going to go up a little bit? And we actually saw GDP rise to about 2% from the anemic ones. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? I mean, obviously I said a rise would probably be good for the market, but look at what happened down here with University of Michigan consumer sentiment. It actually came in a little bit weaker. And a lot of the third quarter numbers for GDP, once you really take them apart, this headline is exactly right. Consumer spending is kind of driving the economy, but business spending is not. And that never works, okay? Because consumers are actually employees, right? And if businesses aren't spending, then we're in trouble. So defense spending was involved in that, a little bit, spending with the consumer. But the problem is again with business spending, and that's going to be bad. So if you get a second, just dig into the GDP. You can kind of figure it out on your own. So it's porridge. It's not too hot and it's not too cold, and the market's reacting appropriately. We're essentially flat for the day when GDP and consumer sentiment came out. The market's kind of whipsawed around a little bit, and we're staying flat. So, to me, the fact that GDP didn't crush it, and the fact that we're still wallowing around down here at levels that just simply aren't sustainable to get us out of this recession that we're currently in, then bad things on the horizon there. So, here at Top Gun Options and Wealth Creation with Options, we actually have a live trading session today at 1 with our Wealth Creation with Options traders, and I'm going to take a look at neutral trades on Apple and on Google. And I'm going to take a look at Amazon too, because the tablet wars are really starting to heat up. Apple came out with earnings. They missed, they beat, they did what folks kind of expected them to do. So the stock corrected after hours, but then it's obviously come back today, and it's not really tanking. But what's good with Apple right now is the implied volatility relative to the historical volatility is pretty high, and you can see by this chart, the moving averages were in danger. So for many of the viewers of my video, Top Gun Options or Wealth Creation Investing, you know that about a month and a half ago when Apple was above 700, right around here when everybody was calling for Apple 1,000, Apple 825, and raised all the price targets, I said Apple's going to see 600 before it sees 700, or I'm sorry, 1,000, and it did, and we're down here, but I'm starting to get neutral on Apple. I think I'm taking a look at about the 565, 560 Iron Condor, and maybe the 655, 660, somewhere around there. A nice, probably about 40 wide wings. It's a nice high probability Iron Condor, about 68% probability of finishing between the uprights there and taking into credit with 20 contracts of about $2,400. So, gonna blast it out to my traders here in a little bit, and then, like I said, I'm going to take a look at Amazon during our live trading session here in a little bit as well. So there we go. University of Michigan numbers out, GDP's numbers out. This obviously I talked about that I was going to be looking at as well. Spanish unemployment rate. Look at that, folks. I mean, 25%. 25% Spanish unemployment, and if you look at the youth unemployment rates in Spain, it's worse. It's hovering around 50%. So this is not good news out of Europe, and that kind of lets us know that the clown car is still zipping around over there in Europe. Okay, so I got to get going, blast out a trade to my subscribers here, and then do some live trading later in the day. So have a great Friday, have a great weekend, and I'll see you for Monday's market outlook.